Hi, I'm Willie Favero, and this is coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm recording this acceptance speech in my family room, and since I'm here by myself, I'm going to take the liberty of using notes. It seems I can remember the words from songs from the 1960s, and I can't remember two paragraphs I wrote yesterday, so thank goodness the hands still work, but I just don't remember quite as well as I used to. So getting on with it, there have been an unbelievable number of just outstanding musicians have come out of Niagara Falls over the years. People I grew up with, people before me, people long before that, and people that have come since. We've been very fortunate. For some reason, Niagara Falls has been loaded with talent. So for me to be considered for the Niagara Falls Music Hall of Fame is quite the honor. I'm quite thrilled with it, and quite frankly, this is an extremely cool thing. You just have no idea. But you're probably going to hear a lot of that today. There are a couple things I want to say. First of all, I want to thank, there are a lot of people that I probably should be thanking, but there are so many. If I attempt to do that, I'm going to leave out people and it's not going to work out right, or this video is going to be hours long. So I'm going to narrow it down to just a few people that I feel are probably important or primary to me even being here. First off, and most importantly, is probably my parents. My parents are the ones that bought some little kid a guitar way back when, and then turned around and paid for all those music lessons. And it was my mom that every evening would drag me off the street playing games and stuff outside, reminding me to practice. Me arguing all the way in. It was my mom and dad that wouldn't let me quit when I thought practicing and taking lessons was boring. There were so much more better things to do, like Boy Scouts and stuff, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. And they insisted that I keep taking lessons and keep practicing. And it was my mom and dad that at midnight when we were in high school, some folks might remember, it was my mom and dad that came to all those dances and picked me up, drove my equipment to the dance, drove the equipment back because I wasn't old enough to drive at night yet. And they were there all the time. I'd call them at 11:30 and my dad would show up and we'd load the station wagon and leave. And then years later, it was my mom and dad that would show up, that would brave all those young adults in the bars in Niagara Falls. They would come to the International Lounge, they'd come to Pond Bowl, they would come to the Armory and actually sit there and dance and listen to the band. It was always pretty cool. So I got a tremendous amount of support from my parents, and without them, I probably wouldn't even own an instrument today. But it's their support, their push, their drive that kept me doing this. And so just want to make sure that I mentioned that right away. And not to get overly sentimental, there is one person that I do want to sing along that is sort of important in this whole picture. Back in 9th grade, I was attempting to play with some guys way over my head. They were older, better, they had been working a long time, and they needed a bass player, and I played for them for a bit. But Rich Lozappo, who I'd gone to school with forever, grade school and high school, convinced me that I shouldn't be with them and I should join his band, join him, Tom Rotella, Pat Perry, in a group called the Apaches. And going with Rich and joining the Apaches turned out to be probably a tremendous decision on my part because it shaped really who I was. It got me into something. It made it enjoyable. We had a blast. Rich and I played bass for Rich for many years after that. Not just the Apaches, but a bunch of other bands. We started a couple other groups after that, and We're still friends today, but I think of all the people that I've had to deal with over my life, as far as music goes, Rich probably had the biggest impact because he convinced me that that being with those other kids was a better decision, and it worked out really, really well. So with all that out of the way, with the people that got me here in the first place, I do want to get to the point, and I got this short and sweet. I am honored to accept this invitation into the Niagara Falls Hall of Fame inaugural class of 2017. Honored, thrilled, tickled. This is, like I said, I cannot explain how I feel about this. This is just extremely cool. I also want to congratulate my fellow inductees, Tom, Frank, Jamie, Bobby, and Bruce. I know some of them personally. I have great respect for them. There are some tremendous musicians in that group, so I'm honored to be part of that group too. So thank you again. Thank you to the Hall of Fame. Thank you to the officers of the Hall of Fame. Thank you to everybody who showed up today to watch and hear all this stuff going on today. This is exciting, and like I said before, this is really cool. So thank you.